making this video real quick because I was talking to a couple people, and it's about Wolverine, or a few characters in the Marvel Universe, or whatever the case is. But I have a problem with everybody basically making it seem like one character is the end-all, be-all of either a franchise or the whole so-called universe that they're trying to build in all of the DC and Marvel situations. So basically, it comes from the fact that when, first of all, just for example, X-Men, when they first came out with it, everybody knows, like, the first movies you come out with, it's iconic because, you know, it's testing the waters. My problem with the X-Men whole franchise is the fact that the original made it seem as if it was all about Wolverine, which was already fucked up. Like, y'all played yourself by doing that because you didn't focus on the characters, or, in my opinion, you didn't focus on the team, which they should have, because it was Cyclops, Storm, all those rest of those cats in there. They were way better than Wolverine. First of all, Wolverine to me is trash. He has good attributes and things like that, healing factor, the claws, cool things, but at the same time, making it seem like he's like this majestic unicorn, and the whole franchise in X-Men, you know, without him it wouldn't have been as great, was wrong to do in the first place. Now, I'm not saying that the character who played him was trash. No. I mean, as of right now, we can't think of anybody who can play him the way he has developed the character in the first place. The criticism comes from the fact of how they actually, you know, went about creating the world and making it seem like every movie Wolverine had to be in it. Well, he needs to do this, he needs to do that. So when it came time to do, let's say, a story that involved anybody other than Wolverine, it wasn't cohesive. I mean, not saying that the X-Men, you know, movies were cohesive in the first fucking place. I ain't gonna give them that credit by a long shot. That shit was a hot fucking mess. But in all reality, there are so many good areas that they could have went when developing the X-Men franchise with everybody else's stories, you know? And even right now, everybody was so juiced about, you know, rightfully so, Marvel getting this whole character license, well, most of the character license back to do certain things, and all everybody's talking about is like, okay, what about Wolverine? Wolverine in this movie, Wolverine in this, X-Men in this, which, I mean, people say X-Men, but most of the time they're really saying, okay, when can we get Wolverine back in the picture? It's like, no. There's other characters way better and more interesting than Wolverine in the first place. Like, Wolverine isn't the heart and soul of the X-Men franchise, regardless of what the movies put out there to be. So, I feel like going forward, it shouldn't even be a situation of who's going to play what character, because if you think about it, the only reason why Wolverine has a popularity is obviously the casting of the character, and next is also the fact that you know, with everybody like Deadpool, Wolverine, this whole situation, it's how the actors brought those characters, you know, made fun of those characters, or, you know, had little one-offs and things like that. Because if it wasn't for Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman having this little buddy thing going on with them in general, the whole Deadpool Wolverine little situation never would have been as big as it was. Because if Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, if Ryan Reynolds being the great, I feel like, good actor that he is, and bringing Deadpool to what he has, and, you know, being the comedic star that he is, playing with Hugh Jackman in the Wolverine situation, nobody would be like, oh yeah, Wolverine, he's going to be the next Deadpool, he's going to be in X-Men, blah, blah, blah. It wouldn't have been as big of a deal if it wasn't for the actor behind Deadpool, you know? And that's always been an issue with me, first of all, with the X-Men franchise. That they made it seem like, oh, Wolverine's in there and he's the leader. Like, y'all didn't even try to develop Cyclops as a leader or Storm on the front lines and things like that. Every movie is literally was like, oh, Wolverine, 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 and it's bothering me. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but for me, he's trash. Like, not, and I'm saying that because he's yeah, give me 1 second. Trying to order me some food real quick. But yeah, before I cut this video short, I just feel that when they built the first movie, they should have went off and actually stuck with the group dynamic instead of, oh, it's about him, he's not in it, what is he going to do and all that, because Cyclops was the real leader of the group. If you watch the whole cartoon series, animated series and things like that, I feel like they didn't do the entire franchise justice by establishing that, because I mean, Cyclops is a tactician, and even as a second in command, Storm had a bigger role than what they gave her throughout these movies. So I don't know, I'll probably think about it more and come back and do a part 2.